presents flying cars.
Jetpack company comes out with electric VTOL concept. After giving the world its first working jetpack, David Mayman and company are bringing to life yet another science fiction dream: flying cars. Jetpack Aviation is designing a new single-seat electric multicopter equipped with 6 arms, 12 propellers, and landing balls instead of skids. Each arm on the VTOL aircraft comes with 2 propellers, one mounted on top and another underneath. They spin in opposite directions. The flying car will only be able to travel up to 90 miles per hour and operate up to 20 minutes before it needs to be recharged. 2 of the middle arms will be designed to fold in so that the vehicle will be low and thin enough to fit inside a garage. Jetpack Aviation is currently developing a safety system for the project, with the team estimating that they will begin building the device in about 6 months.
Airbus unveils a flying taxi. Airbus has announced its development of a flying taxi, which aims at solving traffic congestion worldwide. Airbus's electric flying vehicle is currently named the CityAirbus. Test flights will be conducted in enclosed flight corridors at the National University of Singapore in mid-2017. The drones can travel to and from locations on the campus and port. Researchers plan to develop a machine vision system to allow the CityAirbus to detect obstacles and function completely autonomously. Airbus says it envisions customers ordering rides in the future with their smartphones, and CityAirbus vehicles landing outside their front doors. Airbus is targeting this product to transport service providers such as Uber. They believe sharing the cost of a flying taxi by multiple customers could lower the price to nearly the same as a normal taxi ride.
One step closer to a flying taxi future. Though still probably more than a few years away, dreams of commuting through our cities in flying vehicles may become a reality. German company Lilium's 2-seater flying jet prototype features 36 propellers and runs entirely on electricity, making it emission-free. The aircraft takes off vertically and accelerates into forward flight with the help of its wing flaps. The prototype was controlled remotely during its first test flight in April. The company's plan is to build a fleet of air taxis that can be booked on demand via smartphone by 2025. Like Uber, but with flying jets. With low battery consumption and a cruising speed of up to 300 kilometers per hour, travel time will be reduced and will come at a fraction of the cost of regular taxis. The company claims their first manned flight won't be too far off and even wants to create a 5-seater version of its VTOL aircraft. But with a couple of other aviation companies also developing their own flying vehicles, the race is on.
Singapore tests out delivery by drone. Aircraft manufacturer Airbus is set to trial a drone delivery service, which, if successful, could potentially lead to tests of flying passenger taxis. A new drone delivery service to be tested in Singapore next year will see drones being used to deliver parcels. During the trial, drones will navigate a network of delivery and pickup points across the National University of Singapore campus. These drones, also known as octocopters because of their 8 blades, will fly automated on routes. These routes will be flown inside interconnecting sky corridors throughout the campus. Upon arrival, the drone will unload the parcel automatically, and its recipient will be sent a delivery notification. Airbus says if the drone testing is shown to be safe, it may potentially increase acceptance of passenger flight testing in Singapore. The company has been developing an electric flying vehicle named the CityAirbus for several years, with the aim of reducing traffic congestion in cities. Airbus believes that people will use vehicles such as these in the future, and that they could be operated via transport providers such as Uber. Would you take a ride in a flying taxi? Sound off below and let us know. Uber reckons you'll be able to hail a flying cab by 2026. Ride-hailing company Uber released a very intriguing white paper last month. The nearly 100-page document envisions a future where commuters jetting city to city in compact aircraft could be as normal as taking the train to work. Uber's prediction of a world with commonplace urban air transit systems relies heavily on the widespread use of small self-flying electric aircraft
with vertical takeoff and landing capability. Also known as VTOL, it's most commonly used by helicopters, as well as a small number of military aircraft. Uber says a network of VTOL hubs or landing pads, dubbed vertiports and verti-stops, could be used as terminals to ferry passengers around. Unlike cars, buses, and trains, VTOLs aren't susceptible to traffic jams or delays. They can fly from A to B with no fixed route. Uber estimates the cost of a 15-minute flight may eventually reach as low as $21. Uber expects the aircraft could fly at cruise speeds of around 150 miles per hour and won't go above 10,000 feet. The VTOL would be powered by rechargeable batteries that would maintain 30 minutes of reserve energy. Uber won't manufacture the aircraft, but predicts the market will have produced them by the early 2020s. Uber needs to collaborate with governments and the private sector for this to become a reality, so that could take longer than a decade, especially on the regulatory side.
Future luxury apartments could have balconies big enough for personal flying cars. Ever wondered what life would be like when flying cars become an everyday mode of transport? Canadian engineer Charles Bombardier and Indian industrial designer Ashish Tolkar hope to one day develop luxury apartments with landing pads for personal flyers. An imagined luxury apartment aims to help make personal flying vehicles become commonplace. This new kind of residential building would see vertically aligned landing pads accommodate the vehicles. Residents would not necessarily need to own such a vehicle, but could simply order one, much like a taxi or ride-sharing service. When detecting an inbound vehicle, the balcony could prepare for landing by lowering the rail guard automatically. Air traffic control systems would be necessary to keep the city skies orderly and safe. Although the idea is still in its infancy, Bombardier and Tolkar believe it may not be long before we see apartment buildings built to code for personal flyers.
Futurists pin flying car hopes on electric VTOL vehicles. Ever since the Jetsons, we've looked forward to the promise of flying cars. But it's not just a Hollywood dream anymore. Several companies hope to bring electric VTOL vehicles to the skies. That's VTOL, for vertical takeoff and landing. Imagine leaving the office after a long day's work. You get to your VTOL vehicle parked on the roof of your office. Within minutes, you're soaring above skyscrapers and busy commuter traffic. There are no traffic jams for you. A half hour later, you're at your luxury villa by the beach. Sound far-fetched? It's not if you're Google co-founder Larry Page. This is a photo of what's believed to be the first electric VTOL vehicle from Z.Aero, which Page is funding. Lilium Jet is another electric VTOL craft aimed at the masses. This S2 from Joby Aviation will get you there in style. Even ride-sharing service Uber thinks one day passengers will take VTOLs to work. Hopefully that day won't be too much longer. Remember, the Jetsons envisioned flying cars more than 50 years ago.
Flying taxi gets Kiwi go-ahead for trials. Traffic jams may soon be a thing of the past in New Zealand. Cora, an autonomous flying vehicle by Silicon Valley firm Kitty Hawk, has been approved for trials in Christchurch, New Zealand. The all-electric aircraft takes off vertically, similar to a helicopter. It can carry 2 people. Cora can fly at speeds of over 150 kilometers per hour and operates autonomously. The aircraft also has a travel range of over 100 kilometers. According to New Zealand publication Stuff, it's hoped that Cora will operate commercially in New Zealand within 3 to 6 years. So, would you ride Cora?
Three-wheel car turns into a flying gyrocopter. Dutch company Palvi has designed a car that can fly you out of traffic jams. The Palvi Liberty can easily shift from flight mode to drive mode. The vehicle is about the size of a regular car and can carry 2 people. The car can accelerate from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in less than 9 seconds. Its lowered suspension system allows it to tilt when going into curves. The manufacturer suggests using a runway at least 280 meters long for takeoff. The car has a maximum operating altitude of 3,500 meters. It can land on an airstrip that is significantly shorter than what it needs to take off from. If you're interested in getting behind the wheel of one of these bad boys, you'll need both a driver's license and a pilot's license.
Flying drone taxi takes off. Drones are everywhere these days, and soon, flying drone taxis might be too. At the end of January, Airbus Silicon Valley carried out their first successful test of their autonomous aircraft. The all-electric drone flew at a height of 16 feet for 53 seconds by itself. According to Engadget, Airbus hopes to create a network of autonomous flying drones. The Verge reports that Airbus aims to create a production-ready drone by 2020. Would you ride one?